Good morning, and welcome to Morning Java here on DKPittsburghSports.com. Brought to you as always by Get Go Cafe and Market, where right now you can get a breakfast combo for just $3.99. That includes your sandwich, your hash brown, and a small coffee.
And if you don't want that, Chris, you can get 2 breakfast bagels for $5.
Two?
I enjoy the chicken sausage bagel.
Ooh, okay. You
So
sound
I
like
get
an
2 of those things for
aficionado.
$5. That's throughout the month of July.
This guy's giving you life advice right here, and that's Dale Lolley. I'm Chris Carter. We're here talking all things Pittsburgh sports. Dale, we're going to delve more into the All-Star talk because there's been a lot of discussion. You know, I spoke with DK a little bit ago about this, but you know, Corey Dickerson, you know, the Pirates outfielder that was talking about, you know, there should be a way to revamp it. You know, the Brewers got 4 guys, the Pirates got 1.
Well, the Brewers got 4 guys because they get the best record in the league.
They're kicking people's butts.
Yeah, if you look at the numbers for, say, Christian Yelich or Kane, the other outfielder that made it for the Brewers, they're not markedly different than Corey Dickerson's, but their record is better,
right?
And therefore they're drawing fans to the park. They're getting the votes, and they make the All-Star team.
I mean, and another thing to think about this too, because voting is part of this with fans. If the Pirates can't fill their seats, how the heck do you expect them to get people to log online to go vote for your players?
Well, and the other thing is, look, I worked, you know, at a hometown newspaper for a number of years. Every year at the All-Star time, when they were picked, you could always tell because we'd get 4 or 5 letters to the editor where somebody's complaining about the All-Star process at their Little League level, wherever it would be. Guess what? You all can't make it. That's why it's an All-Star team. If everybody makes the All-Star team, nobody's an All-Star.
There you go. Dale, switching to football, talking about All-Stars, let's talk about the Hall of Fame. Some news came out, it's kind of funny news. I found it rather hilarious. Terrell Owens, we all knew that I agree that he should have been in a first ballot Hall of Fame player.
But he showed why he wasn't.
He wasn't, because when he was inducted into the Hall of Fame, or voted to be in the Hall of Fame this year, he said, I'm not going to the ceremony, something that's never been done by someone who's been inducted to the Hall of Fame. So what did the NFL decide to do, or the Hall of Fame, that is?
Yeah.
They said, okay, we're going to mail you your jacket. There's going to be no ceremony.
We're not going to mention you.
There's not going to be mentioned. You're just going to get your thing, have fun.
I wouldn't even do a bust.
You wouldn't even do a bust? Dang. Oh, no, you got
to leave an empty spot where here's where Terrell Owens
that's
would
a
be.
good idea.
Because he didn't show up.
Just, you can have his name. Like, no, do a plaque.
Because that's part of it. You got to sit down for those busts.
Right. It
You
takes
actually have
a long time.
And this is part of the process. Is Terrell Owens going to go in future years?
Yeah.
Because every year the Hall of Fame members are invited back to sit in the audience for the other Hall of Fame members. Mm-hmm. Is he going to do that now? And if I were the Pro Football Hall of Fame, because they're separate, it's a separate entity from the NFL.
Right.
If I'm the Pro Football Hall of Fame and I'm Joe Horrigan at the Hall of Fame, who runs the stuff, I'm sending him a jacket that's about 3 sizes too small.
That would be Terrell Owens wearing a jacket that's like holding him up like this.
Put that thing on, and it doesn't fit. Either that or you send him like a Shaq size.
Yeah.
And he puts it on, and he looks like Tom Hanks, the little guy who played Tom Hanks in Big, where it's hanging down on the ground. One of the two.
I think this is a funny way a smart way to respond to Terrell Owens. And like, look, I completely agree that it was a shame that he didn't get in for the first time or the second time. I think because this was his 3rd year of waiting to get in. But when you get in, you got to show some class. You got to show, you know, that you're above that. And I mean, hey,
you're asking Terrell Owens to show some class.
T.O.'s gonna be
T.O.
T.O.
Not gonna happen.
So I mean, hey, you want to go that route? They're gonna go this route. And I think it's just a shame because that guy was one of the best receivers that I was able to see when I've been alive. Breaking news, sticking with football, Pacman Jones got into a fight.
No.
But plot twist, it wasn't his fault, and he wasn't the bad guy. Dale,
well,
can you explain?
He's always a bad guy.
Well, he's always a bad, but he wasn't the bad guy in this situation. Dale, you saw the video just like I did. Explain to our viewers what happened.
Well, first of all, I saw the video because this airport employee decides to attack Pacman Jones in an airport.
In an airport.
Because
there's security everywhere.
There's security everywhere. There's cameras everywhere. There's law enforcement officials everywhere. Good idea.
Yeah, you can't leave a briefcase alone for 5 minutes in an airport. You think that
you're going to get in a fight in the concourse.
Right. And I mean, and not just in a fight, but this is how bad this guy took so many losses in a day. He didn't get the autograph that he asked for, which is where this spurred from. He picks a fight with Pacman Jones, who
is smaller than him.
Who is small, a lot smaller than him. gets destroyed. I mean, this guy gets punched out, flipped around. Eventually, he's on the ground putting his hands up, please stop, don't hurt me. And then he gets fired because he attacked a customer of the airport. And, it was a celebrity that got all over TMZ and World Star.
All while wearing his airport employee
Right, he
uniform.
was still in uniform.
Still in uniform.
You couldn't even say that wasn't me, that was my twin brother. No, you had your uniform on.
And did we mention there are cameras all over the airport?
Yeah, this was just a bizarre case. But I was sitting there and I just saw the headline, Pacman Jones fights in the airport. I'm like, oh gosh. But I'm looking at this, I'm like, he's not doing nothing wrong. This guy's being a jerk. I'm glad he punched him out. So, go Pacman Jones? Nah, not that far. Now, Dale, another topic that's been going on, we talked about receivers with Terrell Owens, but
Antonio Brown turned 30 this week.
He turned 30, and so people thought, well, wait a minute, let's do a comparison. And before they did a comparison side by side, Antonio Brown's stats right next to Jerry Rice,
which I did on our site a couple weeks ago.
You did also.
And what
did you find?
He compares very favorably.
Yeah.
If you look at the last 5 years, you look at the first part of his career, he actually has more catches than Jerry Rice.
Oh,
now,
almost 200 more
catches.
The
big difference with Jerry Rice played till he was 42.
Right.
Jerry Rice, after the age of 40, I believe, had 200 catches.
Yeah.
After the age of 40. I don't know that Antonio Brown is going to hold on that long.
And I don't know anybody can hold on that long. And that's part of what made Jerry Rice so amazing. But on top of that, it was his ability to produce also in his 30s, all throughout his 30s.
He had his best season at age 33.
That's insane.
Which, if you're the Steelers and you're looking at Antonio Brown and you're saying, okay, this guy keeps himself in tip-top shape. He works out like a maniac, as he shows us all the time on
yes.
his, Instagram, and then complains about it, by the way, to the media this week. He can't work out by himself. Oh. But anyway, I digress.
That's another story.
They know that he can still have very, very productive years moving forward because of the shape that he keeps himself in, and because, quite frankly, right now, as we speak, he's the second best receiver of all time.
Yeah, I mean, he's playing like it right now. I think it's very fair. I think it's fun to do the comparison. People are already saying, okay, so is he the GOAT? And I'm like, stop, just stop.
He might be the best player in football right now.
I mean, the players ranked him number 2 behind Tom Brady.
And you throw quarterbacks. Quarterback's a different position.
Right, it's a whole different thing. But to me, he's the undisputed best receiver. I think he's the most consistent playmaker. He might be the most clutch player in the league when you throw in the times that he's just comes up with a play out of thin air. You consider all those things and his numbers, he's had the best 5 years of any receiver in NFL history. I think that he certainly has a lay to that claim. Let's see how these next few years go. Does he keep on the pace?